If you want to pass the agenda editing to someone so that you don't have to do both, you could do that if that makes it easier for you. So you don't have to chair and catch all the edits.
Okay, I think I should be able to do it just because I don't have any edits. And then I'll just call on members to get those agenda edit. Okay, I think we should be okay. But thank you, Jessica. Or Eliana, would you like to? If possible.
Do that. That sounds cool.
Okay. Is it through your gen rep?
So just like if anything that's struck or added, I need to write that down.
Yeah, just like strike it or strike
Okay.
items if there are any striking. And I can also help with that too. Because it was kind of fast. Okay. Are we ready? Oh, I think we have a proxy for the president in. Okay, so I can start. So I'll call this meeting to order at 7:04. Do we have any additions or changes to the agenda? Okay, Josh?
Hi, could we please strike capital contingency funding, please? Thanks.
Divine?
Can we strike bag, please?
Okay, Daniela?
Can we strike ASRF, please? Thank you.
Okay. Okay, do we have any more additions or changes to the agenda? Okay, if not, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
Okay, can I get a second?
I second.
Okay, then with that, please raise your hand for approving the agenda. Okay, and then hands for not approving, disapprove of the agenda. And then all hands, wait, or should I wait? Okay, and then all hands for abstaining. Okay, then with a 10-0 vote, the agenda is approved. So now we can move on to the approval of meeting minutes. So are there any changes or to the meeting minutes that you all saw last time? Okay, if not, can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes from last week?
I move to approve the meeting minutes from last week.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, then all in favor, please raise your hand. Okay. Okay, perfect. We can all lower our hands. All in not in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, and then all abstaining, raise your hand. Okay, if not, okay, or abstaining, Alicia?
That was an accident, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Then with a vote of 12-0, the meeting minutes are approved. We can move on to funding. So not funding, public comment. So if you all would like to, anyone in the audience would like to speak for public comment, please raise your hand and we'll call you forward. Like Carl would say, freedom of speech does not mean freedom from accountability. Yes, I think that's it. Okay, I think Clara is in the audience. I think I just promoted her. All right, she's in the meeting. So Clara, whenever you're ready, feel free to unmute.
Hi guys, it's me. I'm here to give the weekly CalPERS update about what we've been up to. So right now we're in our winter recruitment drive and it's been going super well. We have over 400 students interested in getting involved with us this quarter. We've spoken in over 60 lectures and have over 50 new volunteers so far. And as a grassroots organizing group, having more people just means that we can make more change. So we're really excited to have a lot of people involved. Also, I wanted to highlight a cool event we did last week, which was our benefit concert for our Hunger and Homelessness campaign to fundraise for the LA Food Bank. There were 6 student performers there, or I guess like performing groups who were there, and we were able to surpass our fundraising goal of $1,000, which is super awesome. And then also this week, we're kicking off our new ocean conservation campaign with a big week of action. We have 7 ocean campaign events that range from gathering petitions, writing letters, to also on Friday, we're going to be going to Santa Monica to do a beach cleanup. So that's super exciting, and we're really excited to have our new campaign and have a lot of new people involved. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. We're going to have our big kickoff meeting next week to officially launch all of our campaigns, so we're super excited about that. But yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you guys have a great rest of your meeting.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Clara. So now I think another person raised their hand, Acosta, if I'm pronouncing that properly.
Yeah,
Okay.
you said it correctly.
Okay, thank
Hi,
you so much. I'm always so scared of messing up names, but
no, it's okay. Hi everyone. My name is Agosa again. I'm speaking on behalf of the Nigerian Student Association. So in October, we applied to the ARC, yes, the ARC Fund, Arts Restoring Culture Fund, and I know we received an email from you guys in November, but we still haven't like heard about any like decisions and like even the allocation of those said funds, and we're really just kind of checking like where that's at, because we would like to use those funds this quarter. I know we also again like reached out early in January early January. So yeah.
okay. Thank you so much for bringing that concern. I know we have a lot of funding concerns at the moment. I think Alicia, who runs ARC, can respond if you would like a response at the moment. But Alicia, feel free to address these concerns now.
Yes, hi, thank you so much for coming to council and raising this concern of, we've said previously in council, this has been staffing has been a really big concern for ARC. And literally the only 2 people taking care of it are myself and 1 director, and we're processing those fall apps on an emergency state like this week. So you should be hearing back by the end of this week. Your allocation will most likely be approved, but we'll get to that by the end of this week. All of the fall applications that people and groups are still in need of for funding. So yeah, again, I'm really, really sorry. It's just been hard with the little amount of people taking care of those applications. But luckily we do have more staff in ARC now. So everything should be getting on its feet really soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alicia, for addressing these issues, and thank you so much, Agosta, again, for coming to council. But yes, is there any more people who would like to speak for public comment in the attendees at the moment? Okay. If not, then I guess we could move on to funding. So the first funding body that we have is contingency programming. Josh, you would like to speak up?
Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a great week 2 so far. Quick note on the contingency fund, and I'll get into the exact details here in a second. We saw the largest number of applications we ever had within a 5-day span this week. We're hoping that this rapid demand doesn't increase. We've been kind of marketing our materials to student groups via email blast, and we might have done that a little too well just because we had a very large sum of money requested in such a short time span. And we are also hoping that the other allocations from surplus also will come out by the end of this month. So just that as to bear in mind for a larger application this week. But with that being said, and I'll put this in the chat, we had a total contingency request of $42,076.42. And we recommend an allocation of $27,636 for 48 non-USAC entity related events.
Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, there you go. It's in the chat. So if everyone would like to look at the contingency programming, and if there's any questions or concerns regarding, feel free to speak now. Okay, if not, can I get a motion to approve contingency programming?
I move to approve last week's contingency programming.
Okay, can I get a second? Or 1 second. Okay, then Sarah motions 1 second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, I think there are 12 people here. So with a vote of, oh, I think I'll say 12 to 0 to 0. Then contingency programming passes, and yeah, contingency programming is approved for this week. Okay, we can move on to SFS allocations.
Hi everyone. So for SFS this week, we received a total
Sorry.
we received a total requested amount of $718.
Yeah, it's confusing to me too. Oh, fuck.
Am I freezing?
No, I think you just had an unmuting problem, but you're good to go.
So we had a total requested amount of $718. We recommend approval of $718.50, 15 cents for one CSE affiliated organization and one non-CSE really affiliated organization. And this is a consent item.
Okay, are there any concerns or I don't know problems with these allocations? I don't think we should vote, so we can- okay, if not, then SFS allocations move forward. Sydney, yes. Is there
Sorry, just when you do the motions, do you mind repeating the names like so and so motions and so seconds, just so I can be taking notes?
okay, yes, I will remember to do that. I'm super sorry. I forgot to do that for the past ones. But I'll do that for the future motions. Okay, I think we can move on to SWC now. If Anna would like to speak.
Hi. So this week the SWC programming fund allocated $3,142.97 to non-SWC groups, and I'll also drop that in the chat.
I think yes, it's in the chat. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about these allocations? Okay, if not, then the SWC programming fund passes. So next is our AAC travel mini grant allocations. If Daniela would like to speak.
Yes, and sorry for the instruction earlier. I'm like walking and typing at the same time. So I think I just clicked on the wrong button. But yeah, so this week for TGMF, we're allocating $825 to one non-USAC entity, and I put it in the chat just now.
Are there any questions or concerns with the AAC travel mini grant fund? Okay, if not, then that fund also passes. Now we can move on to ARC allocation.
Hi, so this past week we ARC allocated $1,230 to a non-USAC entity. They requested $2,500, but we approved only what our guidelines allowed. But yeah.
Good. I believe so. You could also put that in the chat for I think Sydney to record or just for documentation. And then if anyone has any questions or concerns, feel free to speak up now. Okay, if there are no questions or concerns, then ARC allocations also pass. So now TGIF, I think Phoebe sent a proxy.
Hi, I apologize. I was supposed to ask to strike TGIF.
Okay, yes, sounds good. And I will strike TGIF, and that concludes funding. So now there are no special presentations or appointments, so we can move on to officer reports. Let me strike TGIF real quick. Okay. Okay, so for the president, if the president's proxy or Carl's proxy would like to speak.
Hi, yes, my name is Lucas. I'm Carl King's proxy. Carl would like me to let you know that he's currently in Washington, D.C. attending a conference as a guest of Vice President Kamala Harris. At this conference, he's also sending up the unanimous resolution passed by USAC regarding the release of Evan Hernandez from Venezuela. An assessment regarding the CPO work environment will be released soon. Council should expect to make a ruling soon regarding continued withholding of funds from CPO. And Carl has interviewed 2 candidates from TSR position and will interview 2 more tomorrow. ARC should expect to see them this week and the rest of the council next week. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Lucas, for proxying for Carl. So next is my office. So for us, for ARC specifically, we had some time conflicts with like the previous candidates, which is why we didn't have many appointments. But we're setting up more interview times if the members on ARC could answer like my Slack messages about the one to meet, as well as the consent item appointments for that fax sent us over. So we will have more appointments for the John Wynn Board of Directors as well. We are opening a lot of interview times for the remaining like recommendations from council, as well as the TSR recommendations from the Office of the President. So be ready to interview some candidates for the open TSR position because Teddy is no longer with us. I was going to ask Carl to send me their information, but I think he will do that eventually so that we can have these candidates come to council at some point. For my office, we're working on 2 main events right now, which is like our big events of the year. So we're working on the True Bruins Raise awards and like banquet. So far we have gotten the award winners. I believe the case management services have notified those winners of like their award today, and we're meeting with the case management services and GSA tomorrow to discuss the specific details of the banquet. And then we're also hosting the off-campus housing fair, which is scheduled for week 3 on Wednesday. So it's coming up very, very soon. It'll be from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Broome Plaza. I think I've already said that before, but please try and make it out. We have, I think, 16 property owners and then student organizations who are working with housing. So it'll be a very, very big event. We met with ASUCLA to finalize the layout. We're going to meet with the fire marshal tomorrow to get the layout approved. And then I think, Jessica, I also emailed you about questions about the finances of it, because we do have landowners paying quite a bit to fund our like housing relief fund in the future. But yes, that should be all. And I'll pass it off to Divine. Okay, thank you so much, Jessica.
Yeah, so this week we have been doing a lot of SOCC prep. The conference is this upcoming weekend and we are leaving on Friday. So we're just been finalizing booking hotels, transportations, and later today we'll be meeting with UCLA attendees that are coming to finalize the plans and what to wear and whatnot. I just got done attending a weekly University Affairs meeting, which is under UC Student Association, where we went over SOCC as well as the upcoming Regents meeting, which is happening at UCLA, and the UCOP meeting that we get to have every quarter with President Drake. I did a 2-on-1 with all of my directors just to further plan out this quarter, and as well as events that are happening this quarter within the EVP office. Excited for that to happen. We began recruitment. Sorry, my voice is like gone, so please bear with me. We began recruitment for Winter Fellowship. I believe the applications are already out via social media. If you're interested, if you know anyone that's interested, please let me know. Winter is a great time to intern. Our campus partnerships director and finance director met with our bag recipients from last quarter to sort out payments and ways they would like to be paid for their monies. Our team met with housing to go over the Gailey building plans last Friday. Our lobby core is finally up and running. Folks should have received their acceptance emails. I think a couple people on council applied. If you applied and you didn't get an email, please let me know. But everything should be starting next week in terms of the first official meeting. Local team helped draft a resolution, which you will hear in a little bit. They worked very, very hard on it, and it was really great. So I'm really excited for, I think Phoebe is presenting, or Phoebe's proxy. Local also hosted a meeting with a large UCLA stakeholders such as Northwestern Neighborhood Council and Westwood Village Improvement Association to create a new project that will be shared. I will have Evan share in the near future. But yeah, that's it for me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Divine. I think next is Gen Rep 1. So Kian, if yes,
Yeah.
Kian's here.
Hope you guys had a great long weekend. So it was a busy week. I met with Mike Cohn today, who is my advisor. We discussed different events we could do, different ways I can work with administration. So that was really helpful. Previously, I met with Jessica and Roy to discuss different ways that we could also work with them and the financial parts behind it. Today, we started our club highlight of the week. So this is something I want to do each week where we highlight a specific club on our Instagram so students could get involved with clubs that they once didn't know about. And then most importantly, this past weekend, we started our Ride Safe program. So from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. from Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, we had free lifts around Westwood. So that was a great success. A lot of people were telling me, a lot of people were sharing it, a lot of people were figuring out how to use it. And I think people really felt safe to walk around camp. Well, they rode around campus, which I think it helped a lot. I think at the end, around 60 people used it. So that gives us a lot more room to do this program again on different weekends. And hopefully I've been in contact with Lyft, and hopefully we can bring this in to be a weekly program like other schools have. So I'm going to meet with administration from transportation department this week or next week to see how we can implement that further. And if people haven't used it, follow the Instagram, follow the Gen Rep 1 Instagram to see when we do it again. Thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you so much, Kian. That was very fun. I saw that on Instagram, but I wasn't able to use it. But hopefully next time.
Next time.
Yeah. Okay, next is so Gen Rep 2, Naomi's is written unless you would like to say anything about your office. But if not, Gen Rep 3, Eliana, if you would like to share.
Good evening. Yeah, I went to a meeting with Caleb Rabinowitz, Isaac Bryan's chief of staff, together with Rachel Gross from Jewish Free Loan Association and their advocates. Can't remember that. So it was good. Caleb sounded we're advocating again for the state funding to have interest-free loans for low-income college students at UCLA and other universities in California. Caleb sounded supportive, and I'm hopeful we'll be able to get at least a pilot program in on this. And thank you all for having voted for the resolution on that, because it's helpful in all these advocacy efforts. I went to another interview, a campus partners presentation actually, for one of the candidates for Associate Director of Center for Accessible Education. And thank you, Naomi Hammonds, for having been there. You're the best. And I did another of my oral history interviews with graduate student, disability activist, and former special ed teacher, all around awesome person, Emily Frake. If any of you either want to be interviewed or know of a publisher or write to disseminate, once I've done all these interviews, to disseminate them and make them useful to the UCLA and broader community, please DM me. And yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, everybody. And always great being with you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Eliana. Okay, so the Academic Affairs Commissioner and Campus Events Commission are all written. So next is Juan, the Community Service Commissioner.
Hi, everyone. So I'm going to have a jam-packed office report. So first, nonprofit networking night. Networking night is an opportunity for students to network and interact with different nonprofits around the LA area. This is happening January 24th, 6 to 9 p.m. at Covell Grand Horizon. If you go to the UCLA Volunteer Center to RSVP, that'd be amazing. So all the council offices, I encourage you all to promote this as much as possible. It is being led and coordinated by our amazing community service commission directors of internal programming, Clara Chung and Alexis Bembry, and also all the amazing committee members, which include Mackenzie, Liz, and a bunch of other people that are involved. So shout out to them. Please, please, please promote the nonprofit networking night happening week 3, January 24th. So it's coming up next week. Next, we have our fellowship program. CSC has a 2-quarter fellowship program that the application deadline is this Sunday at midnight. This is an opportunity for first-year students and transfer students to get involved with CSC, put on your own CSC sponsored program and initiative, and get exposed to community service leadership here at UCLA. We are going to have 2 information sessions this Thursday and Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. Over Zoom, no RSVP necessary. More information is on our UCLA CSD Instagram page. If you applied to the Impact Conference, the deadline was last Saturday. You should be hearing back regarding all of that by the end of this week, because we have a tight turnaround for booking flights, registration, and doing all of that amazing coordination. So be on the lookout for that if you applied. The next thing that we have is CSC is going to be hosting several town halls this quarter, as well as early next quarter, leading up to a big service conference that we're going to do in the spring quarter. So we're going to ask a bunch of collaboration from the council offices, but also invite a bunch of community service organizations to attend these town halls. They're going to be a little more action oriented, and we're going to have more information as we launch this information and make it public. But I just wanted to provide something for everyone to look forward to. And then last thing, appointments. We have so many appointments open. Please, please, please apply. Please, please, please share that out as far and wide as possible. Yes, thank you so much. And I'll be passing it on.
I'm sorry. Okay, next is the Cultural Affairs Commissioner. I think Alicia.
Yes. Hi everyone. Okay, so where do I start? Okay, our winter round applications closed this past Friday, and they were really successful. We got lots more staff for the Word on Wednesday and for World Fest, and even filled up some executive positions in those series. So I'm very happy about that. So that means I get to start interviewing some people who want to become a co-director with the directors for the Word and World Fest. Get more support. Next, we did get 5 applications for ARC. So those are I'm really grateful for those. As you know, we just need to get ARC back up on its feet. But soon we'll have some plans for the community project part of ARC. So be on the lookout for those. We'll probably be selling some old laminated posters and graphics from past events that CAC has done. Next, we also have a CAC art series craft fair next week on January 26th. Yes, and it'll be really fun. Please come out. There'll be vendors. On that same day, we'll have a concert later at night in the Kirchhoff Grand Salon. It'll be our first concert of the year from Concert Series, so I'm really happy that'll get to happen. Next, we had our first directors meeting this past Friday, and it was really successful. We came together on like some logistical things, and we also like started like creating like a vision board of what we want for the year, as well as like asked each other like we asked around like what supplies their series would need or the office needs. So we'll have a lot of those needs met very soon after we calculate how much everything costs. Next up, I can't announce yet, but be on the lookout for HHC's kickoff and later dates. It'll all happen next month. Other than that, let me think. I know there's more things. Hold on. Oh yeah, Word on Wednesday tomorrow. Please be there. It'll be like like a New Year's resolution kind of meditation kind of word tomorrow. So if you're looking for that fresh start, just like me, please come. It'll be in the Kirchhoff Art Gallery at 7. We're also taking care of more reservations in the Kirchhoff Art Gallery. And this weekend we'll have our retreat, our winter retreat. So I'm very excited. One last thing, we're looking to reach out to what's it called? No Name Book Club, to see if we could do a collaboration with Word on Wednesday. Their headquarters are in LA. So yeah, I hope that develops really well. But I think that is all for me. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Alicia. So next is the Facilities Commissioner, I think Megan for BB.
So updates from VAC. So our committees are still working on the same things as last week. VAC had a meeting with UCLA Green New Deal about the transit referendum, and we've drafted an email outreach templates, and we'll start a presentation deck to present to the council to get on the ballot. We met with Carol Ann from DCP about MetaMap, and they need help logging accessible restroom stalls on campus for the map because signage is not currently accurate, and we want more USAC support to secure more funding for the MetaMap student employees. The Campus Bike Advisory Committee said that final recommended projects for the year are the City Council District 5 collab with Westwood Boulevard bike lanes, the pedestrian scramble at Gailey and Strathmore intersection, plus traffic calming, reopening the campus bike shop with UCLA Rec, and the bike parking signage. They also drafted a letter to support bike lanes on Ohio Avenue with the LA Department of Transportation and wanted to emphasize that UCLA support of increased safety and accessibility of active transportation modes connecting to our campus. Hence the resolution later to follow. Also, Sepulveda Transit Corridor public comment is open this month till early February, and it's a super important time for advocating for our outreach to UCLA students and employees to make sure that decision-making includes them. And along with EVP and FSC, FAC helped to draft the resolution that will be presented later for the meeting as well. And last thing, our winter fellowship application is now open, and it is due on this Friday, 11:59 p.m. on the 20th.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Megan, for giving BB's commissioner report. We can move on to next, FSC. So, Sarah, you know, speak.
Hi, everyone. From FSC, quick update. Personally, I have injured my leg, so it has slowed me down this week. However, the FSC office is running as smoothly as ever. So we're setting up meetings, I think for next week with administration, just on the New York Times subscription, which I'm really excited about. And then we finished our rental program this week. So we had a few more people rent out lab coats. I have it written down on the board. That's why I'm looking. We have an upcoming workshop this week and then 3 more or 2 more for this quarter. We're sending out additional staff apps just to have a few more helping hands. And then we're also gonna, we also, as part of our partnerships with Westwood businesses, I worked with one of my directors to see how much we've done in total so far, and he said we got discounts with about 40 stores, so we're going to start posting those on our Instagram so people actually know where they can get their discounts. And then we're also probably We're meeting with housing and dining later this week to try to get the meal tickets to be worth more because the price of our meals has gone up, but the ticket has stayed the same. And that's pretty much it. How I injured my leg, if any, because Naomi asked, and if anyone's interested, I was literally going to sit down and it just was like, not today. But thank you all for listening. And also, last thing, of course, a lot of this work is because of my amazing staff and directors.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Sarah. Hopefully your leg feels better. That doesn't sound fun. Okay, and then we can move on to the Student Wellness Commissioner is written, unless Anna would like to say anything. The Transfer Student Representative we're still working on that one. So we can move on to International Student Representative if Hansika would like to speak.
Hi everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I am unfortunately still back home, so things have been slow from my office, but we've still been getting some work done. Particularly this week, we were working with the International Pre-Med Society of UCLA, and working with DASHU alongside. They want to get some kind of outreach, and we're helping them with that. Aside from that, we're working with this organization called Kimber Health. If you guys have heard of it, it's an insurance company, and we're seeing how to work on an insurance plan for international students particularly. And then aside from that, we're still working on getting our website up because of the technical stuff, and working on our internship, which is going to be next quarter. That's it for us for now, but I expect to be back this weekend, so I hope I can get into full force after that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Hansika. Okay, so now we can move on to our administrative representatives. We can start with Orlando.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Just a couple updates. The first update is just a continuation from last week. This is the last week student groups can register as new organizations. So if you're looking to register a new group or thinking about it, right now is the time. If you missed the Friday deadline, we'll have one more opportunity in the first week of spring quarter. I'll mention that when that comes close. And then just a quick update on your USAC brew and post message. It has been submitted and has been received, and I'm just waiting back to hear back if everything's good to go. If it does, it should be posted on Monday. But if there's any issues, I will reach out to you all to let you know. I'm working with Carl on it, so I'll hit up Carl. All right, that's all I have for tonight.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Orlando. Next is Jessica. If Jessica's here.
Hi. Yeah, sorry. I was trying to find my mute button. No major updates from me. Just yeah, reminder, I want to try to have Mary Romo, who's our programming manager, come to council to introduce herself. So I'll email you, Milan, to see if we can get her on next week's agenda if there's space. And other than that, we're just working on a lot of different programs for student union. So if anybody has any ideas or recommendations, feel free to send them my way and I can forward them on to Mary. And then I know she's working with a couple of your offices already for some great co-programming. So if you have anything that you want to partner with ASUCLA on, that's kind of what we're here for. And then also just, if you have anything that you kind of broadly want to share with students in terms of like messaging through social media channels, let us know because we can have it reposted or reshared on ASUCLA's social media channels, which have a pretty good amount of followers. So happy to help you all promote your events and offices as much as we can. And then I did just want to make sure you all kind of have on your radar. I know Milan kind of mentioned it already about finding a replacement for the transfer student representative office. So per your constitution, you do have a time frame within to fill that position. So ideally, that person should be coming to interview with council next Tuesday. If you can make it work with ARC interviews and all that. I know a couple potential candidates were getting eligibility checks. So if that's something that's holding it up, then obviously, you know, it's important to get that piece of it done before they come to council. But yeah, you really should be trying to get that filled by next Tuesday. That'll be 21 days from the vacancy. So just to keep that in mind. And that's it for me.
Yes, thank you so much, Jessica. Yes, I am aware of the 21 day, so we will definitely be having like candidates for TSR next meeting. Everyone, yes, be ready. Okay, next would be, I think Lori is the next administrator here.
Hi, I just two things. I'm meeting with Nick, I think is his name, from Phoebe's office to work on some late night study space over at Wooden for finals week. And then Recreation is finalizing their campaign to push out for open rec dance studios, instructions on how to find when the studios are available for those who are not in a registered org, so they can have a place to practice for their majors or their off-campus dreams or whatever. And that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Lori. And then I guess Archie is also not here. So we can move on to, is there any, okay, there's no more administrators. But we can move on to new business since there's no old business. So the first thing on here is a resolution in solidarity with UCLA Campus Bike Advisory Committee to support the LA Department of Transportation's West-wide Mobility Project, led by Phoebe. But if Megan, you have information on that. Unless not.
Yes. I was going to ask if another one of the sponsors could present this, since I'm not exactly the most familiar with it.
Okay. Yes. No. Okay, Sarah.
I was one of the secondary sponsors, I guess, so I can present on this one on Phoebe's behalf, if that works. Okay, do I share my screen?
Yeah, you can share your screen, or if you want me to, whatever you're feeling.
Well, Milan, can you share, just because I'm in Kirkhoff and the Wi-Fi is not my friend here?
I got you. Here you go. Okay. Can you all see it? Somewhere.
Yes, we're
okay.
Good.
Perfect.
Okay. So whereas the Los Angeles Department of Transportation and Council District 11 launched a series of projects called the West Side Mobility Projects to create new bikeways to connect Los Angeles neighborhoods on the west side and nearby cities like Santa Monica. The new bikeways will improve neighborhood safety through traffic calming devices, whereas the UCLA Campus Bike Advisory Committee began in November of 2022, as recommended by the League of American Bicyclists for UCLA, to start its process towards receiving the platinum level bike-friendly university designation. Whereas the UCLA CBAC's goals include reducing single occupancy vehicles and greenhouse gas emissions on campus and achieving campus wellness. Where one of the purposes of the CBAC is to bring political weight to bike issues on and off campus. Whereas one of the corridors within the West Side Mobility Projects is Ohio Avenue from Westwood Boulevard to Westgate Avenue, which connects the Westwood neighborhood local to UCLA and areas further west of campus. Whereas the CBAC has written that the Los Angeles Department of Transportation West Side Mobility Projects letter of support to be sent to LADOT and Council Districts 5 and 11 to signify UCLA support of the West Side Mobility Projects and further bike lane projects between two council districts. The letter of support denotes benefits to bikeways on Ohio Avenue and other corridors on this project, including connectivity to the Santa Monica Rate Treatment Center and the historic Sawtelle Japantown. Whereas support for the CBAC letter by USAC could set precedents for solidarity and coalition building between two groups to create more advocacy power for local Westwood and Westwood adjacent transportation and streetscape projects that would benefit the UCLA community, including undergraduate students. Be it resolved, the Undergraduate Student Association Council adopts this resolution to explicitly voice our support for the LADOT West Side Mobility Project's letter of support written by the UCLA Campus Bike Advisory Committee to LADOT and Council Districts 5 and 11 as representatives of 31,600 undergraduate students at UCLA. We second their expression of interest in LADOT's West Side Mobility projects and continued engagement with LADOT on transportation projects.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sarah, for presenting. Does anyone have any suggestions, comments, concerns? Okay. If not, okay, I'll stop sharing so that everyone can see each other. Can I get a motion to approve the was it the CBAC USAC resolution?
I move to approve the USAC resolution and solidarity with feedback calling for and supporting bike lanes.
Okay,
I second.
Okay, so Eliana motions and then Naomi seconds. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, and then okay, cool. With a vote of 12 to 0, the motion is approved and then the CBAC resolution is passed. Okay, so I think we have another resolution on the agenda. A resolution in support of a heavy rail Sepulveda lane or line imploring UCLA to end its inaction. And this is also by Phoebe. But if Megan, you don't know too much about it, we can also get another. Oh, Naomi? Okay, perfect. Do you want me to share?
Please.
I got you.
Even though I'm not in Kirkhoff, my Wi-Fi is still shitty, but yeah.
I feel that. I'm in Carnicel Commons, so hopefully this Wi-Fi is kind of fine. Okay, Naomi, the floor is yours.
Oh, actually, I had it on my iPad. I'm stupid. Okay, so a resolution in support of heavy rails. Okay, yeah. So let me just start. Whereas Los Angeles Metro, why are these big words? Okay. Metropolitan Rail Authority, Metro is currently studying alternatives for its future. How do I pronounce that? I've lived here for a year and I still can't pronounce these words.
Sepulveda. You're doing great.
Really? Well, I'm gonna say blank line, a crucial corridor connecting Westwood with the San Fernando Valley and LAX. Project alternatives 1 to 3 include a monorail system, which would run in the median of the 405 freeway. Alternatives 4 through 6 would propose a heavy rail or subway line running underground. Whereas Metro's environmental review phase, which will study the benefits, cost, feasibility, impact, and mitigations of the above alternatives, is happening now. The formal public comment period is open until February 11, 2022, whereas Metro will host virtual meetings and community open house events for community members to discuss the environmental review of the SITS project alternatives and potential station locations. The virtual meeting on January 22nd, 2023, and the community open houses on January 24, 2023, and January 26, 2023, will be significant opportunities for the UCLA community to voice their concerns on the environmental review of the SITS alternative designs and potential station locations respectively. Whereas UCLA's Transportation's most recent UCLA State of the Commute 2021 report noted that UCLA has had about 31,685 undergraduate and graduate students that lived off campus in 2021 that would commute to campus and 17,000 employees that commuted to campus daily, mainly driving alone. At least 910 individuals, either students or employees, were extreme commuters, which the study defined as either having a UCLA parking permit and residing between 50 and 120 miles away from campus, or driving at least 90 minutes one way to and from the university. Whereas the University of California has a sustainable practices policy that mandates each UC location to report greenhouse gas emissions from commutes. UCLA noted that commutes by students and employees resulted in about 31,627 MT of CO2e in 2021, roughly equivalent to big numbers. Okay, so 78,504,715 miles driven by an average gasoline-powered passenger vehicle, 34,992,405 pounds of coal burned, or the annual energy consumption of 6,154 homes, which is a lot. Whereas due to the high environmental costs of single occupancy vehicle commuting, UCLA's sustainability plan targets to reduce the number of students and employees driving alone to campus to 33% and 44% by 2030 and 30% and 40% by 2050, respectively. In 2021, drive-alone rates for students and employees were 22.3% and 46.7%, respectively. An effective metro rail line could lower those numbers further. Whereas transportation made up 38% of California's greenhouse gas emissions in 2022, the 405 freeway ranks consistently as one of the most congested roadways in the nation. This is fact. So those living near the freeway are at least increased risk of health complications, including lung disease and asthma. Creating a new rapid transit line is crucial to ease congestion and fight the climate crisis. Whereas the station at UCLA's Gateway Plaza is expected to be the single busiest non-transfer station in LA's metro system. Without this direct connectivity to campus, the effectiveness of the line is dramatically reduced. Whereas all three monorail alternatives in consideration by Metro contain stations adjacent to the 405 freeway, which will expose transit riders to intolerable and hazardous levels of pollution and noise from the freeway. Given that lower income individuals and people of color comprise the vast majority of transit riders and are therefore more likely to be exposed to such pollution and the noise from the 405, this proposal presents an environmental justice issue and hinders the goal of achieving equity with the I can't say it, rail line. This is environmental racism at its finest. Whereas BYD, the main private company partnering with Metro on the monorail proposal, has a history in Los Angeles of poor performance and public agency staff opposition. And its business model has reportedly focused on skilled lobbying to secure support and contracts from local politicians. This poor track record and behavior calls into question their ability to construct this rail line less expensively and in less time than a heavy rail alternative, and is incongruent with UCLA's true values of accountability and integrity. Whereas the current monorail proposal by Metro's private partnership with BYD excludes a station at UCLA's Gateway Plaza, instead opting for stations at the edge of the 405 freeway and over a mile from campus. Whereas the monorail system, if built with a direct connection to UCLA, would make the total travel time of the line 28 minutes compared to heavy rail's 19.4 minutes. Whereas the monorail system has a lower maximum capacity, carrying 19,000 passengers per hour in each direction, compared to heavy rail's maximum capacity of 27,000. Whereas the current public-private partnership proposed for heavy rail with the company, try saying that fast, Metro has direct connectivity to Metro's future Pepper Line, Exposition Line, and Regional Rail. Whereas all connections for BYD's monorail are indirect, limiting the overall efficiency of the Metro network. Whereas 13 of the 14 neighborhood councils belonging to the West Side Regional Alliance of Councils have issued formal support for a station at UCLA and direct transfer station at Metro's D-Line, including the Northwestwood Neighborhood Council. The only opposition comes from the Bel Air Beverly Crest Neighborhood Council. Not surprising. Whereas when asked for public comment by Metro, 93% of participants favored a heavy rail alternative to a monorail system. Whereas, as the UCLA Undergraduate Student Association Council, USAC, has previously adopted, in quotes, a resolution calling for a direct UCLA/Westwood Purple Line stop on the transit coordinator, which prioritizes a direct connection to campus and the D-Line Purple Station. This resolution did not explicitly endorse the heavy rail alternative, nor pressure UCLA's administration to do the same. Whereas, despite overwhelming community support and innumerable benefits for heavy rail, UCLA has remained neutral about its preference for mode, whereas opposition to heavy rail remains limited to a vocal minority of homeowners in wealthy neighborhoods, represented in part by the Bel Air Association, BAA, and the Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association. These parties' interests should not precede those of the UCLA undergraduate student body and the UCLA's administration's decision-making. Whereas UCLA administration, represented by Administrative Vice Chancellor Michael Beck, has shown an uncomfortable degree of deference to the BAA, whose I don't know how to say that one, has little to no relation with UCLA. Vice Chancellor Beck has gone as far as holding meetings with BAA board member Frederick Rosen regarding the transit coordinator project and failing to push back on Mr. Rosen's opposition to heavy rail and tunneling. Whereas Vice Chancellor Beck has neither held similar meetings nor displayed an equivalent level of transparency with stakeholders holding a clearer nexus to UCLA than the BAA. including but not limited to UCLA Undergraduate Student Association Council and the Northwestwood Neighborhood Council. Whereas Vice Chancellor Beck wrote a letter on September 13th, 2022 to Peter Carter, the Metro Project Manager, supporting the receipt of public feedback, detailing the opinions of UCLA and the university. In this letter, he stated UCLA's official position as mode agnostic, as well as UCLA's overarching principle as investing in the STC in a manner that enhances equity by transporting people directly to the places they need to go and that connects as seamlessly as possible with the existing rapid transit network while minimizing the impacts of operations on the neighborhoods through which it runs. While the USAC commends the spirit of equity in the deliberations for voicing the campus community's preferences for the Metro Rail line, the lack of engagement with the student community compared to the BAA does not represent either equity or the interests of UCLA undergraduate students, employees, and other members of the UCLA community. Therefore, be it resolved, the Undergraduate Student Association Council adopts this resolution to explicitly support Metro's heavy rail alternatives 4 through 6. This council rejects all proposals for a monorail alternative. Let it further be resolved. The USAC expresses its grave concerns regarding Vice Chancellor Bett's lack of communication with the local campus population in his meetings regarding this transit coordinator project compared with parties outside of campus. Let it further be resolved. The USAC requests Vice Chancellor Beck to present at a council meeting before February 1st, 2023, with a list of his direct involvements in outreach with undergraduate students to solicit feedback on the UCLA's community stance on the Metro project alternatives. Let it further be resolved. The USAC requests a meeting between Vice Chancellor Beck and the USAC staff to facilitate further conversation about increasing student engagement and the transit coordinator during the public comment period and incorporating undergraduate students' desire for a heavy rail within UCLA's administration advocacy efforts to Metro. Let it further be resolved, the USAC implores UCLA to make a public endorsement of the heavy rail alternative and submit an updated position letter to LA Metro reflecting this new position. The benefits the heavy rail option brings to the university, our community, and our planet are immeasurable. The future of UCLA relies on the success of this line. Neutrality is not an option. Finally, let it be resolved, the council reaffirms the importance of undergraduate students in UCLA's public endorsements. The need of students and faculty must be prioritized by our UCLA administration. Our university must endorse heavy rail to secure a better future for Bruins.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Naomi, for reading all of that. Okay, I think I let someone in who's also one of the writers of this resolution. If anyone would like to speak on it, or any council members, if they have any suggestions.
Naomi, you absolutely killed it. I'm really apologize for the density of everything. I'm sorry. My name's Evan. I'm part of the EVP. I'm also, I would never volunteer either after reading that. But I think just reiterating how important this line is to UCLA, there are just so many benefits. Hopefully, as that was very clearly outlined, that there is just a lot of things that really we do need this heavy rail. So yes, thank you so much, Naomi, for all of that. That was fantastic.
Okay, yes, thank you so much, Evan, for speaking up. Okay, Megan, if you would like to say anything.
Thank you, Naomi, for reading that. I have some notes from Phoebe, and she would like to emphasize that the main arguments for this resolution, and one, it would be more efficient, or the heavy rail would be more efficient, which would allow more or incentivize more people to use transit, or regardless, make transit commuters' life better, considering the number of times they'll ride the train. And two, there'll be less exposure to pollutants from car emissions for commuters waiting on a platform underground versus above the freeway for monorail. And three, Vice Chancellor Michael Beck is sending letters on behalf of UCLA saying what we prefer, but is he actually listening to the students? Because he's definitely listening to Bel Air.
Thank you so much, Megan. I love that statement from Phoebe. But yes, okay. Does anyone have any other comments, suggestions, concerns? Okay, if not, then can I get a motion to approve this USAC Sepulveda resolution?
I enthusiastically move to pass a resolution in support of heavy rail Sepulveda line, imploring UCLA to end its inaction.
Okay, perfect. Can I get a second? Okay, then Juan motions, Alicia seconds. All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay. Okay, I'll lower your hand. All against, please raise your hand. I don't know if those are open. Okay, and then I think that's against for, and then please lower your hands. And then all abstaining, please raise your hand. Okay, then with a vote of 10 to 0 to 1,
That
a
was
resolution.
11. Divine raised her hand a bit late, but I think she
Oh,
did.
sorry. Okay,
No
perfect. Then
problem.
Yeah, sorry, my
Yeah.
raising hand function wasn't working, but that was for, I was voting, obviously, the past resolution has my name, my name on
Okay,
it.
yes. Okay, sounds good. Then with a vote of 11 to 0 to 1, a resolution in support of a heavy rail Sepulveda line imploring UCLA to end its inaction passes. And yeah, okay. I think that's all for the USAC agenda right now. Yay, we only made it 3 minutes past an hour. So now I adjourn this meeting at 8:03. Thank you everyone for coming. This is my first time chairing a meeting, so this is very fun, but also very stressful. Okay, goodbye everyone.
Let's do good and well for whoever wants to stay.